impairing your relationships? Has he done these things in the community so that other people see this?
It's the same question. Thank you.
She knows what he said and who was present.
Why is this relevant?
It's relevant. Okay, I can withdraw the question.
Okay. I'm just not sure
In terms of,
where impaired relationships are relevant.
sure. In terms of the original temporary protection order, when it issued no contact to stay away of at least 100 yards, did he respect that or violate that?
He respected that, ma'am.
He respected that. And did that make you feel safer?
Not really.
Why?
I mean, when you're outside alone, who's going to know?
So you're still afraid of the way, because of the way he's come at you, that he's going to come at you even with a protective order?
Yeah, because every incident was an escalation.
Okay. Do you feel like the protective order that was issued has helped?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a marked difference in his contact with you today in the hallway?
I didn't look at him, so I don't know.
In terms of the request that you're asking, can you tell me where give me your home address, please?
1312 Longs Point.
Okay, and how are you asking for a stay away provision of the permanent protection order? And if so, how many yards or feet are you asking?
100 feet.
100 feet. And is that because you guys share a community?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of where you work or volunteer, can you tell the court a little bit about that?
I volunteer at Intermodal Interventions.
I couldn't hear you. Would you mind
Sure.
speaking into the microphone?
I volunteer at Intermodal Interventions. It's a
Mobile?
modal, M-O-D-E,
Intermodal. Okay, got it.
interventions.
Okay.
Can you give the address for that?
1257 Lake Plaza Drive, Colorado Springs.
Are you asking that he be ordered to stay away from the place you volunteer?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking for no contact in general?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the homeowners association meetings? What are you asking for in relation to that?
As long as he doesn't address me.
So as long as he doesn't have contact with you, you're okay being in the same room?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there other people present?
Yes.
Is your husband sometimes present?
No.
No, he doesn't attend.
No.
Well, how many people though, do you feel safe is what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In terms of how this has affected your emotional and physical health, and I'm specifically referring to the incidents on in 2024 and 2025 that you've testified
I think
to.
it's just relevance, Judge. I don't know how this is going to be applicable to this particular case.
Response?
Well, it's if the acts occurred and these are the initial acts and the initial acts did have a effect on her physical and emotional health, her physical and emotional well-being, I feel like that's part of why we grant permanent protection orders. I understand it's really an issue to the temporary protection order, but I feel like it's relevant to the permanent one and why it's important.
Would you mind asking her how old she is?
Ma'am, what is your age?
68.
I find it is relevant and overrule the objection.
You can answer the question.
Okay, would you ask again, please?
Okay.
She already answered that question.
I'm sorry?
She answered the question about her age. Where were you going?
How did these incidents that you've testified to, the one in July 14th of 2025, of June, I think your testimony was July 20th of 2024, and
June 19th.
June 19th of 2025, how have these incidents affected your physical and mental health?
I can't get out and walk as often. I mean, if you're afraid to, it kind of defeats the purpose of de-stressing with a walk.
In terms of your testimony was July 20th of 2024 was when the incident with your daughter happened.
Yes, ma'am.
That's about the date of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want?
About could you say that again?
I'm sorry. She said that was about, I said, is that about the date? And she said yes.
Okay.
Um, in terms of when he was, just one more clarification, was his behavior worse on the way down on the first walk or on the second?
On the first,
Okay. And the recording that we heard, was that on the first or the second lap?
that was the second.
Okay. Um, Does his body language scare you when he's yelling these things?
Yes. He's very angry.
Okay. And when he saw you driving with your daughter, do you think he recognized you in the car?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Moran.
Good morning, ma'am, or good afternoon. You mentioned a TOA. What does that acronym stand for?
Townhome Owners Association.
And my clients are active members in the Townhome Association.
Yes, sir.
His wife is the president of the Townhome Association.
And she's on both committees as well.
Okay, and there's been some beef between the Townhome Association and what you perceive to be done with your property is improper.
I requested several things, but this has nothing to do with that. I mean, he was just verbally accosting me.
Okay, the Townhome Association wanted to use pesticides on the trees.
Yes, sir.
You did not want that.
It's correct.
You wanted to build a railing outside of your home, which is outside of the architectural parts. You objected to that. You wanted to build a railing.
Yes, sir.
She has to answer the question.
Fair enough. You wanted to build a railing,
Yes, sir.
correct? But the Townhome Association had to go through certain factors to get to that point.
Yes.
And it caused a lot of discontention of what you wanted done and what the Townhome Association wanted done.
Yes, sir. We had a letter from the doctor for my husband, so that would be ADA compliant.
You also wanted to change the color of doors, etc.
No, sir.
You wanted to change hanging glass in the windows.
I wanted to hang a piece of stained glass inside the house.
Again, that had to go through the architectural committee, etc.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It got to a point that all complaints that you wanted to air, you wanted to be done anonymously. Is that right?
No.
You put in your report or your exhibit, one of the exhibits, quote, the annual TOA, so that's Townhome Association meeting, is in August.
Yes.
This event that you're alleging is on July 14th. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Continuing, I am, quote, I am concerned that he will disparage me in front of my neighbors. If he is elected to the committee or as a board member, I'm afraid he will retaliate against me when making decisions regarding myself or my property. Correct?
Correct.
As well as my property to do inspections.
Correct.
Right? I do not want him to have any input or decisions making authority over me or my property.
Correct.
So if we go back to this incident, my client was doing some duties for the Townhome Association. Is that correct?
He was digging weeds on an empty lot that are owned by someone else.
Okay. And that would have been controlled by the Townhome Association, right? Weed control.
We have a landscaper.
Okay. And you approached him to ask him why he was doing the weed control.
No, I did not. I approached him because I was taking a walk.
Okay. So you walked to him and you asked what he was doing.
Objection, asked and answered. Badgering would.
Overruled.
I was taking a walk. I didn't ask him anything. Did I approach him? I'm on the sidewalk. He's in the yard. So if he's here and I'm walking down here, yes, I approached him. I'm taking a walk.
Okay. Do you remember moments ago when you testified under oath? You remember that? And
About?
you said, he approached me.
That was when I was coming back up the other side.
When you, at the vacant lot, you approached him and said, "What are you doing?"
No,
But and that's where there was an argument about being involved in our community.
I did not ask him what he was doing.
How long was that argument?
I don't know, 2-3 minutes?
And during that time, he said, "I wish I would have never moved to this neighborhood."
I don't remember if it was that one or the one where I got to the end of the block and he crossed the street over to me.
Okay. And then at some point and said, "I wish you were dead," or "I wish I was dead."
He told me he wished I was dead.
So that was the first incident or the last incident?
First incident,
Okay. And that's at the edge of the Townhome Association.
at the end of the block.
Okay. After that, there was, quote, "right after my neighbor, Mark Lafano walked back." That was at another lot. Is that right?
That was on my second round.
Okay. And that was Mark
Lafaro.
Okay. You see him here?
No, sir.
Okay. Some 30 minutes later, you approached him in front of his own home. Is that right?
It wouldn't have been 30 minutes.
15 minutes later, you approached him at his own home.
I was walking down the sidewalk.
So that would have been a third incident.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at the third incident, you came to his house, to his driveway. Is that right?
I was walking down the sidewalk
Okay.
like I normally do,
Approached him again
walking down my sidewalk.
and said, "What are you doing now?"
I did not say that, sir.
Subsequently, since this has occurred, you sit in your porch occasionally. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when my clients leave their property, you will wave at them and smile at them.
No, sir.
You'd also stopped in front of their property numerous times on your walk and will look at your cell phone.
Sometimes
In front of their house.
if I get a text message, I stop and look. It doesn't matter where it is.
So the Townhome Association has when you enter into the townhome, that's a private driveway, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the Townhome Association tries to regulate that with kids coming, dropping off beer bottles or leaving trash, et cetera, correct?
I don't believe that's ever occurred since I've lived there.
Okay. How long have you lived?
I couldn't hear that answer.
Oh, I don't believe that's ever occurred since I've been there, that I'm aware of, that kids are dropping off bottles and trash.
Okay, thanks.
How long have you lived there?
5 years,
How long has my client lived there?
longer than that.
Okay. And during this 5 years that you've lived there, you've had an incident with him on this date. You had an incident supposedly with your daughter. And those are the only times you've ever spoke to my client directly?
No, sir.
When have you spoke to my client outside of those 3 incidents?
Well, before that, just saying hi, or if I saw him at a meeting, but nothing pertinent.
And during that time, no other incidents over the 5 years?
There was one a few days after he approached my daughter's van.
And that was, "What are you doing here? Our community is a private community." Is it?
No, that was a few days after the one in 2024, July 2024. And I was out walking with a neighbor.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me just finish, okay?
All right.
The incident with your daughter and at the sign, my client asked, "May I help you?" or "What are you doing here?" Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. The next day, my client came and tried to apologize to you.
No, sir.
Okay. But he approached you to talk about the incident the day before.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you want to know what he said?
No?
Okay.
On the last incident at the townhome, my client was bagging weeds. Is that correct?
He was doing something in his yard
Okay.
work.
And you were in front of his house.
Which incident is this?
The third one on July 14th, 2025.
Thank you.
and he was bagging goods, etc. You remember that? Or bagging weeds, etc.
Yes.
And there was other words said about being active in our community. Why are you a pain in the ass?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Redirect.
Tell me about the stained glass window and show me about how big it was and where you wanted to hang it.
Stained glass window is about this big, so we're talking about 2 by 1 foot. And I wanted to hang it in the front window. It's like a transom window. It's way up high in our front room.
Okay. Were there other people in the neighborhood who have those things in their windows?
Yes, there's a judge that lives on the block that has what appears to be stained glass on either side of his front door.
Okay. And did that make, what was the respondent's reaction to you pointing out that indiscrepancy?
I didn't point it out. Someone else on the board did.
Oh, I see. But was he pleased with that?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. You discussed a railing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How old is your husband?
He's 76,
Okay. And your age again?
68.
Okay. And why did you ask for the railing?
Because he has a difficulty going down our driveway. It's fairly steep.
Okay. And in the winters, what were you worried about?
We'd already taken a fall the first winter we were there.
Okay. Was there anything else that from the list that he suggested that was a legitimate issue in the TOA?
Yes, the spraying of the trees for aphids. When I objected to that, I objected because it's a carcinogenic. And I also said that I would be putting diatomaceous earth, which is a non-toxic repellent, around my trees instead of having them sprayed.
Okay. And did your doing that impair the community at all?
No,
Or the trees?
I've not had aphids since then.
Have the other people in the neighborhood had aphids?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But I want to go back to your testimony that this is not about those instances.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did he call you a bitch?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he say he wished you were dead?
Yes, ma'am.
There's this insinuation that you're going to his house. Can you explain where you have to walk when you do your laps?
There's only houses on one side of the street. There's only a sidewalk on one side of the street. And if I'm walking against traffic, that's the side I'm going to be on when I pass his house.
Okay, but do you slow down and stop at his house?
If I get a text, I'll look at my phone.
So why are you saying that? Did you get a text right in front of his house that you know of, or is this what you're speculating? I
Well,
need to be very clear here.
Speculating, I get texts when I walk and I stop and read them.
Okay. In terms of he said he approached you the day after it would have been the fourth incident that you just described here today. And he said the insinuation was that he approached you to apologize.
Oh, after the incident with my daughter,
Yes, is that correct? And
he came barreling out of the house and he told me how rude my daughter was and how he knew where she got that from. It must be from me. And he just kept berating me. And I was walking with one of my other neighbors.
okay, did you freeze?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why didn't you subpoena your neighbors?
Judge, hold on a minute. It's somewhat irrelevant because if we're going to subpoena people, let's have them here. Thank you.
I guess what I'm getting at
Let
is,
her answer the question. Go ahead.
Why didn't I subpoena my neighbors? They were concerned about retaliation.
are you trying to just have no contact with this gentleman?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this have anything to do with the homeowners association?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In terms of when you had that interaction at the car I believe it's in June, okay? That's the June incident with your daughter.
Interaction with the car, that would have been July
You're right, correct, thank you. July 21st, okay?
yeah, 20 or 21st, and it was 2024.
Four. Had you guys been fighting when that happened?
No,
Had you been talking?
no.
That's the oldest incident referenced in your verified complaint.
I believe so.
No further questions.
Okay, thank you for your testimony, ma'am. You can go ahead and take a seat. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Permission to call the next, yes.
Go ahead.
Got the incidents confused. The first,
Fill it in.
totally.
Take a seat, please. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. You may proceed, counsel.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ascano. Could you please state your full name for the record and spell your last name?
Autumn Reyescano, Ascano.
Okay. And how are you related to the petitioner?
That's my mother.
Okay. I'm here to ask you about an incident that you experienced in her neighborhood. And it would have been on July 21st of 2024. Can you tell me what happened on July 21st of 2024?
Mom and I had spent the day together and I was driving her home, and parking in her driveway can be challenging in the vehicle I used to have. So I typically would drive down to the end of the block because there was a nice turnaround and we'd see what was going on in the neighborhood, deer, wildlife, whatever. And on the way back to her home from the end of the block, one of her neighbors stepped into the street and kind of flagged me down, and Mom said, "That's my neighbor." And so I stopped and rolled down the window and said hi. And he proceeded to tell me that it was a private road. I wasn't allowed to drive on it. And so I leaned back, and I think Mom leaned forward and said hi or something and just said, "I'm taking my mom home." And he said it still wasn't allowed. He was going to call the cops. He started swearing. He had leaned, because my window was down, so he had leaned a little bit into my vehicle, and I was not the kindest. I told him to fuck off and call the cops. I probably flipped him off too. And I took my foot off the brake, and he stepped back, and I took Mom home.
Okay, when he was telling you these things, was he calm?
No.
How was he? Can you describe? I know you said you told us what he said, but needs you to describe his demeanor.
Sure. So at first, when he told me that I wasn't allowed to drive on the road, he was calm. But when I told him I was taking Mom home and yes, I could drive on the road, he escalated. He got loud, very loud, I would say yelling. And that's when the cussing started.
Okay, and at that point, did he just like stick his body in your car? Or can you describe it?
He was driving a minivan and my window was rolled down. And so he was leaning on that door ledge.
Mhm.
Yeah. So his head was past where the window would be.
Was your mom showed him who she was?
Yes.
And was your mom, at the time when she said hi, because you said she said hi, did she think that was going to be the end of his stopping you?
How would,
Did you know your mother? Did it seem like she was just saying hello to Mr. Gordon?
Correct.
Okay.
I assumed he didn't see her in the car and didn't know that I did belong in the neighborhood.
Okay, and then when he saw her, did he get less angry or more angry?
He got angry when I told him that I was taking my mother home and yes, I could be in the neighborhood driving on the road.
Okay, and when you described him as yelling, as he was yelling, what was your mom's reaction?
She was in the passenger side, so I didn't see her, but I don't remember if she said anything or not, but once I started driving back to her house, she was shaking, she was teary, she was really upset.
Okay. In terms of do you know that she typically goes on daily walks?
Yes, in the past year or so, she started texting me when she goes on a walk, when she gets back home, who she's on a walk with.
Okay. And Why does she do that?
because she's concerned about running into her neighbor.
Is her neighbor here in court today?
I saw him with a giant straw hat on, so I believe
You're not-
that's him.
Okay. In terms of the incidents that happened more recently,
Mhm.
has that had an effect on your mom's health?
Yes, there was an incident this past summer, and she called me crying. And I mean, she called me crying hard enough. I wasn't even sure what was happening in the moment. And it took her a little while to calm down and tell me that one of her neighbors had.
Again, Judge, hearsay at this point. Thank you, ma'am.
Response
It is hearsay, I'll withdraw it.
sustained.
In terms of when did that call occur in July of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember the precise date?
14th-ish.
Okay. In terms of, well, I have no further questions.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
You. You're familiar with the Townhome Association, is that correct? That area?
Sorry, it's beyond the scope of direct.
You just mentioned that she was driving into the Townhome Association. That's what I'm going to ask her about.
Overruled.
You're familiar with the Townhome Associations, ma'am?
I am.
Okay, and outside of that Townhome Association is a sign that says this is private property?
Yes.
Okay, and on that particular day, my client came to you and said, "May I help you?" That was the first thing that he said to you,
Perhaps.
Okay.
I don't recall that.
okay? He had voiced concerns that this is a private property, is that correct?
Yes.
And then there was some swearing from him and by you.
Yes.
You told him to fuck off, you
I
flipped
did.
him off, et cetera.
After he started swearing at me.
Okay. And at that point, you took your mom home, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Your mom, though, has voiced concerns that the Townhome Association doesn't always give her what she wants, is that right?
Objection beyond the scope of direct.
So that's context to the entire root of this problem, Judge.
I'll overrule.
I remember specifically her having, she and dad having issues with getting a handrail that they needed. And I think there's a problem with the stucco repair.
And she voiced concerns that the Townhome Association wouldn't listen to her.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any redirect?
Do you think your mother filed for this protection order because of townhome association issues or for her safety?
For her safety.
No further questions?
Thank you. Then may this witness be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead and you can take a seat.
Thank you.
Any further testimony or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Defense?
Judge, at this point, I'd ask for summary judgment under Rule 350. There's a two-pronged test. First test is an assaultive act. The only thing that we've heard is, "I wish you were dead." That's certainly bad form, if true, or more importantly, just something that doesn't meet assaultive behavior. The second prong is if the government doesn't step in, there will be this abusive behavior which would continue. I'd ask that the case be dismissed at this juncture. Thank you.
Response?
In terms of proof of that the events occurred, she's testified credibly to incidents on July 14th of 2025, and all the way dating back to July of 2024, as well as on June 19th, 2025. And then there was one other one that she also testified to that's actually beyond the four corners of the complaint that came in through her testimony today. All of these acts were ones that he went out of his way to yell, scream, call her names, say that I believe that she was credible as to wishing that she was dead, saying, why doesn't she do something good for the community? I have no doubt that this is all in his mind about a townhome owners association, but in my client's mind, these acts occurred and they do threaten her emotional, and they did threaten her emotional and physical health. And she also testified, Your Honor, that since the temporary protection order entered, it's been better. He stayed away. So I have reason to believe, given that these incidents were increasing, that without this temporary protection order, they would continue, they would resume again.
Okay, thank you. Well, when a party moves for a directed verdict, the court must view the evidence in the light most favorable to the party against whom the motion is directed. Every reasonable inference to be drawn from the evidence presented is to be considered in the light most favorable to such party. A motion for directed verdict admits the truth of the adversary's evidence and of every favorable inference of facts which may legitimately be drawn from it. The court has heard testimony of two incidents, one in on July 14th of 2025, and heard a recording of that, although it was hard to hear because of the wind noise, but I did hear like at least a raised voice on the part of respondent. And again, I have to take what she said as true for purposes of a motion for directed verdict, saying wish she was dead and called her names, berated her, which is not really helpful. I really like to have facts, but she went on to say it was more about that she'd been awful since she moved into the neighborhood. I assume this was the berating. Called her a bitch, wished she hadn't moved into the neighborhood. Why don't you do more to help? And then the recording, why don't you do more to help the community? We've got records and minutes of your request. At least I do things to try to help the community, but these are volunteers. When asked about, she says on the recording, which isn't very helpful for her, she does say, I feel pretty good. After these statements of Mr. Gordon. So that's that incident, calling her a bitch, saying wish she'd die or wish she was dead. Then there was a second incident almost a year before that. It looks like it was that she says is the worst incident. Looks like it was occurred, according to her complaint, it was June 19th, but I think that the parties are a little, I think they said other dates, but close to that date of June 19th. It looks like maybe June 20th or 21st, perhaps. Mr. Gordon confronted the Ms. Ascano's daughter, the other Ascano, and they had a bit of an argument there. Where apparently Mr. Gordon curses, Ms. Scano curses, people flip each other off, F you. She took her foot off, he was leaning, from what I understand, leaning perhaps with the way it was demonstrated anyways on during the daughter Escano's testimony that he maybe had his elbow on it, on the window ledge, and she took her foot off the brake and let the car roll, as I understand it. So for purposes of this directed verdict, I agree it's a close question, but I have to look at it in the light most favorable. So every reasonable inference has to be drawn in favor of the petitioner. So there was Ms. Escano being, I guess, insulted in ways that made her feel distressed by Mr. Gordon. So at this time, I am going to deny the motion for directed verdict. I will note that not that, 1314 104.5, one of the purposes of the issuance of a temporary civil protection order is to prevent emotional abuse of the elderly. So she has testified that she suffered emotional abuse, so the motion is denied. So I haven't counted this time against either side. All right, so does the defense have any testimony or evidence they would like to offer?
I would. Could we also continue with the sequestration order, please?
Of course. Oh, then you are outside, ma'am. Do not talk to anyone about your testimony.
Call the defendant, Jack Gordon.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Just make sure to speak into that microphone.
Mr. Gordon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, and you can hear the judge?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you, sir?
At the present time, I'm 86. The incidents that occurred, I was 85.
Okay. And how long have you lived in this townhome association?
Just about 7 years. I think we moved in 2018.
And during that time, how many times have you come into contact and spoke to Mrs. Escano?
Total, I couldn't tell you exactly. I think about 5 times or something from the June 24 till the July, I guess it was, of 25. I did not speak to her at all, not one word.
And during this time, you and your spouse are members of a TOA, is that right?
My wife is the president, and I'm an elected committee member that's chairperson of the landscape committee.
Okay. So on 7/14 of 25, were you completing duties as the landscaping chair?
Yes,
Okay.
and had been for about 2.5 hours in the sunshine.
Okay. And if I'm going to show you, just for contextual purposes, a layout of the area, can you show me what this is?
It is
I'm going to come up and I'm going to show you. Can you tell me what it is?
yes.
Okay. May I, Judge?
Yes.
What is this, sir?
It's a layout, a physical layout of the Townhouse Association with one way in and one way out, and the location of the different units and the incidents.
And it's a overhead aerial
View.
Okay. Is that a true and accurate representation of the Townhome Association?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Move to admit. Thank you.
Any objection?
No objection.
And so this is Exhibit A? Is this Exhibit A, Mr.?
Um, Yes.
Okay, all right.
Um,
Admitted.
Thank you. That document in front of you, as the chairman of the landscaping committee, what did you do on 7/14 of 25?
I was weeding, which I do with the weed eating with a commercial landscape weed eater, and digging Canadian thistles, which are noxious weeds that are everywhere.
And where is that in relationship to the map in front of you?
I was at the far end near the dead end of the complex, adjacent to, I believe it's 1356, which is the last unit before the dead end.
On that picture in front of you, what you're referencing is the top edge of the complex. Is that correct?
The north end.
Okay. On that day, did you come into contact with Ms. Ascano? It's to my right.
Not until about 12:30, and at that point, she approached me from her unit apparently, and I was bagging thistles at the moment.
What did she say to you?
The first comment was, "What are you doing? You don't have to do this."
What did you respond?
That I was digging the thistles and weed eating, and that it was for the benefit of the association.
Were you somewhat frustrated?
Oh, terribly.
Okay. What did you respond then?
I asked her why she couldn't do something to benefit the association rather than harassing all of the volunteers.
And what happened next?
I walked away and moved on to, I believe it is 1350, another vacant lot that's approximately 40 yards away. And Mrs.
How far away is that and how much time passed?
I don't know how long it took, 2 or 3 minutes, but it's about 40 yards, and I pushed the wheelbarrow along with the weeds.
And you heard her testimony previously. You said, "I wish you didn't move to the neighborhood and I wish you were dead."
Never said either one.
Okay. And you're saying that under oath today?
I say that under oath. I never said I wish she had not moved here, and absolutely never said I wish she was dead.
When you went to another lot, she references Mark Lafano.
Yes.
Did you berate Mark Lafano?
The only, at that point, Mark was not there. I met Mark down about 30 yards or so, and the only thing I said to him was, "Good morning, hello."
At the second lot, what was said? What did you tell Mrs. Scano? You went from the first lot to the second lot.
Yes.
What did you tell Mrs. Scano, or who approached who?
She followed me to the second unit and continued to harass me over the Mark Lethano incident, which I, at that point, had nothing to say about Mark. Mark was not there, and I had not said anything to Mark until I met him on the way, pushing my wheelbarrow full of thistles back to my driveway.
Did you ever berate Mark?
I said hello.
Did you cuss at Mark?
Absolutely not.
So after the first lot and the second lot, where do you proceed, Mr. Duncan?
To my driveway, and I parked the wheelbarrow in the.
What are you carrying in the wheelbarrow?
Almost a wheelbarrow full of Canadian thistles.
Okay. And from the second lot to the third lot, or the third place, that's your home, is that correct?
Yes,
Where are you with the wheelbarrow? Because it's not a lot, it's a house, right?
yes.
Where do you have your wheelbarrow?
In the end of my driveway.
Okay. What transpires with Mrs. Scano?
I went inside to get a heavy-duty trash bag to bag the Canadian thistles. And before I finished bagging the Canadian thistles, She is back within a couple feet of me, just the other side of the wheelbarrow, throwing her hands up in the air and says, "What do you think you're doing now?"
What did you respond?
I explained that they are Canadian thistles. They're noxious weeds. They have a beautiful bloom, but they just spew hundreds of seeds. So that was the reason I had to bag the blooms and the thistles.
Were you frustrated at that point?
Absolutely.
Did you say, why don't you do something fucking for this community?
No.
Did you tell her that you're a pain in the ass?
The quotation was, to the best of my memory, that as she was standing right next to me, I said, "You must be a miserable individual unless you get off on being a pain in the butt or pain in the ass."
Okay. And how long did that incident take place at your home?
30 seconds, 45 seconds, 20 seconds, I'm not sure.
How long did the incident take place at the first lot?
The first lot, less than a minute, I think.
How long did the incident take place at the second lot?
Probably 20 seconds.
As a member of the committee or a member of the townhome, why do you, it's a private road, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. As you and other members of the committee, you stop traffic from coming in.
Not every time, but yes, occasionally, particularly if it's a vehicle that we are not familiar with.
Okay. And other people do that?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the purpose of that?
To protect the association and keep the riprap out of the dead-end street, basically.
And what have you had happen in the community?
Well, we've had the trash thrown on the lots. We've had beer bottles in the street, and we've had dump trucks and even concrete trucks drive on the private street. And this is the reason that we try to protect the residents. It's a private area.
Do you have a script that you talk to people with about coming onto the property?
I use a standard phraseology because at one point we had lots for sale and the construction going on. So the standard phrase I use is, as I approach any of the vehicles, "May I help you?"
So on the date that you heard council speak about and Mrs. Scano's daughter speak, did you approach their car?
Yes.
What did you say and how did it transpire?
"May I help you?"
Okay.
Before it exploded in screaming and yelling that you have no right to do this and you have no right to stop my car. You should have known it was my daughter's.
Okay. Did you cuss at them?
Not to my knowledge.
Who started the cussing?
I'm not sure who started the cussing, but there was screaming from inside the car.
And they were upset that you stopped their car.
I should have known better.
Okay. The next day, is that correct? Or a couple days later,
Days later,
you saw Mrs. Scano, is that right?
yes,
What were you trying to do?
trying to explain to her why I stopped the car.
Okay. And what transpired?
Well, she says I rushed across the street and encountered her. Let me tell you, at 85 years old, you don't rush anywhere.
Okay.
I walked across the street and tried to explain to her why I stopped the vehicle, because it was not taking her home. It was at the other end of the complex.
Was it an apology or was it an explanation?
It was a civil explanation at first, until the same screaming and yelling that you have no right to stop the car. You stuck your ugly head in the window, which did not happen.
Mr. Gordon, is a protection order needed?
I certainly don't think so. If you did, it's on the wrong person.
Did you ever assault her or make assaultive language?
No,
Did you ever threaten her?
no,
Was there some cuss words that transpired?
possibly,
Was there any aggression where you tried to scare her or threaten her?
no.
Since that time, when you leave your facility, correct? You
Yes.
go to the mailbox or to your car.
Yes.
Do you ever,
Ingress and egress was granted.
and you drive, is that right?
Yes, I have not walked since the protection order has been in effect
And why do you do that?
because I want to obey the protection order.
And you don't really want to speak to Mrs. Scano.
Definitely not.
You also tried to call some witnesses to this case, is that right?
We had some witnesses volunteer that
And-
they would like to participate today, and we asked them not to because we're not sure what her next act is going to be.
And hearsay.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I heard him saying he had witnesses volunteer, objection, relevance, and hearsay.
Well, it would be
Saying They
relevant.
want to come.
It'd be relevant, but it is hearsay. So the hearsay objection is sustained.
When you leave your property over the last couple
And he
months,
can testify about what he said to them,
sure,
but
we'll move on, fair enough.
Okay.
When you leave your property since this date,
Yes.
do you ever see Mrs. Scano?
Yes,
And where do you see her?
usually on her porch.
And what
And-
happens? Hold on, what happens?
She has a big smile on her face and waves.
Okay, she said previously she never talks to you. She said that in court. She never waves at you.
Yeah, well, she has a short memory.
Okay. Additionally, have you ever seen her walk in front of your home?
Yes.
And what happens that causes you concern?
What she's going to try next.
But does she stop in front of your home?
I have been told that she
Oh,
does
no, no,
by
no.
the neighbors.
Okay,
I did not see her stop.
fair enough. Thank you, sir. Okay, hold on. You need to just sit right there, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
is that for me? This
I'm done.
exhibit?
Thank you.
Is this exhibit for me?
That's correct. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Let me know, sir, if you can't hear me, okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. You do agree that there was an incident on July 20th or 21st of 2024, the incident at the daughter's car?
Yes.
And you do agree that you leaned on the car?
No,
You didn't lean on the car?
no.
You didn't stick your head in the car?
Well, I was accused of sticking my ugly head in the car, but no, I did not.
You weren't asked to get off the car?
No.
In, if I can show you what is marked, can you still hear me?
Yes?
What is marked as permission to approach? Petitioner's
Oh,
exhibit.
yes. Mhm.
Thank you. Petitioner's exhibit 5. Do you recognize that sign?
Yes.
Where is that sign posted?
On the entrance to the Townhouse Association.
Okay, is that a true and accurate representation of it?
Yes, it's one of the 4 that are displayed.
Thank you, sir. I would move to admit exhibit 5.
Any objection to exhibit
No,
5?
ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Exhibit 5 submitted.
Thank you.
In terms of that exhibit 5, what does that sign say?
Says private street owners and guests only, TOA, Shining Mountain TOA, no outlet.
Yeah. And you do see people turn around at that end there, don't they? At the end of your other exhibit, people will turn around because there is no outlet. There's sort of an open space, correct? For people to turn around.
Are you referring to the entrance area or incident near 1350? That there is a turnaround there.
I'm referring to the north end closer to your home. There's an
Yes.
open space, correct?
Yes, that's the only place to turn around.
And that's where she was turning around, correct?
Not when I stopped her.
Okay. So she was, well, if she was at the end of the road, is it reasonably likely that she turned around right there where most people do turn around?
Yes,
Okay, so it's possible, yes, that she had just turned around
yes,
because there's no way out the other way,
Yes.
right?
but her home is the other direction.
Right. But if she's taking her mom home, right, she has to get out. The exhibit that you showed us is there's only one way out, right?
Yes,
Okay. So it's reasonable that she had just turned around so that she could drop her mom off and leave the neighborhood. Is that correct?
I don't know where she was going after she turned around. She lives at the other end of the complex. She drove all the way to the dead end and turned around and started back down the street. So that is the scenario.
But the sign does say, sir, correct, that people can have guests to their home, right?
Yes,
So you're saying when you stopped this person and said, may I help you? What she was lying when she said, she waved at you and said hi. She being the petitioner, Mrs. Scano.
you're talking about two different incidents. When I stopped the car, I said, may I help you? When she waves now, that's after the protection order when she's sitting on her porch.
You did hear the testimony of Miss Autumn Scano, correct?
Yes,
And you heard her say that you approached the car and asked her, may I help you, or something to that effect, right?
yes.
And that then her mom leaned over and waved at you. That never happened.
No, she was sitting on the other side and she said, I should never have stopped the car. It's my daughter. You should have known.
So she went
Not waving.
straight from 0 to 100. How dare you stop our car?
Yes. As far as I know, the screaming came from her and her daughter.
And you hadn't leaned on her car.
No,
And you hadn't leaned on her car, and then Miss Scano waved at you.
what do you mean waved at me?
To show you that this was her daughter, this is
Yeah.
not some stranger.
Yeah, she said it was her daughter and I had no right to stop the car.
She said that immediately.
After I said, you know, what can I do to help you? It immediately,
calm.
the screaming and yelling started.
Okay, immediately. Is that your testimony?
Yes,
Immediately. Okay.
yes,
But there was that interaction, your account of it, on July 20th or 21st of 2024. After that, the next incident, do you agree that there was an incident on July 14th of 2025 at about noon?
yes,
And she says that the two interactions, do you agree that she took 2 laps?
I don't know how many laps she takes.
Okay.
She walks past our unit repeatedly.
She walks past your unit repeatedly, and you interpret this to be her following you. Is that correct? Did I understand your testimony right?
No,
You interpret this to be her approaching you.
she followed me to the far end of the complex. That's when I interpret her of following me because I talked to her initially, the first indication. I moved to the next lot, which was about 40 yards away near 1350, and she followed me and continued to harass me over the anger of Mark Lozano, I guess his last name is.
So your testimony is she followed you, okay, and she was angry about Mark.
She says she was angry for me being angry at Mark or with Mark. I'm not sure what the terminology was, but she was harassing me for being angry with her friend Mark.
Okay. So if that was true, right, couldn't you have just walked away and gone back to Weeding?
I did.
And she followed you?
She followed me somewhere. She and Mark both disappeared. The next time I see her is after I'm in my driveway unloading the wheelbarrow full of thistles when she walks up from the other direction, and I know she's got her phone in her hand, so she's coming back for the 3rd time within an hour to harass me.
I thought it was within 10 minutes. Your earlier testimony was it was within 10 minutes.
I don't know what the time frame was, but it was the same day within the same time frame.
Within 10 minutes or an hour.
I don't know if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. She disappeared went down to her house, and I think probably got her phone, put it on record, and came back to harass me again for doing the job that I do for the townhouse.
Okay. And you do see that you made many, with the exception of, you deny making the statement, I wish you were dead.
I totally deny that.
The exhibit that was admitted, Exhibit 4, right? That was provided to you a week ago, correct? That was provided to you and your counsel a week ago.
The recording?
Mm-hmm.
No, I have no knowledge of it up until now. Was it recorded? Did you get a copy of that recording?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's okay. You've answered the question, sir. So you're not sure about the time, an hour or 10 minutes, but you're sure that you noticed her go to her house and get her phone.
I don't know where she goes. She disappeared. Then she returned. May I get a water bottle?
Yes.
I've had,
Hold on a minute. Do you have a water bottle?
yes.
I'll get it for you.
Okay, it's on the outside there because my mouth is getting really dry. I'm sorry. I've had 35 radiation treatments for throat cancer. So I have to have a constant water bottle.
No, sir, no worries.
That's where I thought it was. Thank you.
And if you run out, sir, we have more water.
Pardon?
If you run out of that water, we have more water.
Oh, I have enough. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for the break.
No worries. So you testified that you were on the landscaping committee?
Yes.
There are 2 people on that landscaping committee, correct?
I am the chairperson of the landscape committee.
But there are 2, my question is, there are 2 people on that committee, correct?
It depends.
Presently, it's you and your wife, correct?
Yes,
Just you and your wife?
yes.
Thank you. In terms of your earlier testimony that this started at 12:30 on 7/14 of 2025, and she said, she approached you and said, "What are you doing?" Correct?
The first comment was, what are you doing? You do not have to do this.
My question to you is, you think it's about 10 minutes or an hour? I just need to understand how long you think this interaction happened.
It was less than an hour.
Less than an hour, okay. But 30, 20, and 10 seconds each, these interactions.
If that's what we say, yes.
That's what you said.
I'm not sure what the time frame was. I didn't time it.
Yeah, but your earlier testimony, you're affirming that it was 30, 20, and 10 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. And so we heard a recording that was, well, more than 30 seconds. Correct?
I don't know what the time frame was on the recording.
And we heard you saying, "Why are you so miserable?"
The last encounter in the garage, in front of my garage, was,
I'm asking
Why-
you, you heard yourself say, "Why are you so miserable?"
why are you such a miserable person?
Not a miserable bitch.
No,
Okay.
I didn't give her that name. That's been given to her by throughout the association.
Oh,
That's how she's known.
and that's what you told her that day too. Or she says you told her that day,
Yes.
but she's not accurate.
Mhm. I don't remember that when what she's saying had to take place at the first incident or possibly, I don't think it took place at the second one. The third incident didn't hardly take care of anything, because after she recorded what she wanted, she started to walk away. And that's when I said, you must really be a miserable person unless you get off on being a pain in the ass. And that should have been on the recording exactly as that quotation.
But you didn't listen to that Exhibit 4 prior to today's hearing.
I did not know.
You don't know?
I did not listen to it. That's the first I'd heard of the recorded conversation.
There was another incident in June of 2025, correct?
Yes,
And you cursed at her. You used I won't say. Let's see. Do you admit that you used curse words in an angry tone at the post box?
at the post box?
Mhm.
No.
That's what she testified to.
No, at the post box, she says that I called her a bitch. And if I said that, which I do not recall, I was just talking to my wife, who was on the other side of the car, and I was probably informing her that I had just heard that was what they called her throughout the association.
So when she testified that you said, "There goes the bitch," are you admitting that or not?
If I said that, which I do not recall saying it, it would have been to my wife, not that was in next to me in the car, not to someone who testified she was 100 feet away.
Is it possible for you to have no contact with Miss Escano, to stay 100 feet away from her?
There has been not one word spoken, to my knowledge, from the time in 24 where I tried to explain why I stopped the car until she basically accosted me in the middle of the street in the most remote portion of the complex. There was not one word spoken for almost a year.
But if you said, "I wish you were dead," do you think that might be scary to someone?
I never said that. I have never voiced a physical threat to that lady.
And you've never gotten angry?
Oh, I didn't say I hadn't gotten angry. I was there very angry at the townhouse down at 1356 because it had been a year that I had avoided contact with this woman, refusing to do the sprinklers, the landscape.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. So you're saying there's more things that she's requested than just the ones that she testified to?
Oh, absolutely. There's almost 50 pages of evidence
Okay.
of where she has tried to just totally ignore the rules.
So then why didn't you bring that to court today?
Because I was told that it was supposed to be a personal problem, not a TOA problem.
But if you're this angry about those issues,
Well, I was angry because I had avoided her for a year, and here she has accosted me after I've got a wheelbarrow full of Canadian thistles at the far end of the complex when her unit is at the other end. All of these incidents took place at our end of the complex. Not one of the units of the incidents took place anywhere near her unit. The only one she's mentioning is the post office at box. And if,
you've lived here for a long time, correct? 2018, I think you said, right?
yes,
And you have seen Mrs. Scano prior to the stuff that's happened the last year, let's say.
yes,
She walks routinely, correct?
she says she does.
You've
I'm
never
not
seen
sure.
her?
I'm not sure where she's going or where she walks, but she walks by my unit repeatedly.
And she does that routinely, correct?
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay. And she's done that routinely for years, right?
I don't know how long she's been doing it.
Oh, no further questions.
Thank you. Redirect.
When you see Miss Escano, what do you do?
Now, you mean?
Yes.
Avoid her totally. I walked on, the year that I have avoided her, I avoided her like the plague. I walked on the other side of the street to being on the same side with her on the sidewalk.
Did you ever make a threat to kill her?
I never made any threat of any kind.
Evidence, I don't think there was any, I don't think that.
Overruled.
That's all, Judge. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, you can go ahead and take a seat, sir. You want to hand me that, whatever is on there?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. I have a color one if you'd like.
Oh, no.
Did we take that your thing for your wife? You need one?
We have more than one. We have more. They're right over.
Mr. Gordon? Mr. Gordon? Back there. Again. Okay. Go up here and let me get it.
Do you mind assisting? It's your, yeah, I have to go around. Get one of these. They're all lighted up, so they're all charged.
This on the desk.
Okay, it's not.
Come around there. But they're probably listening to me, so if Vera or Dawn are listening to me, you might we're just trying to put another hearing device on
You
and
may have to hold it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on like that.
can you hear me? Okay, all right, go ahead and take a seat. You can still hear me, Mr. Gordon? Okay. Oh, we got it worked out, Dawn. It's okay.
Take a seat, okay? It looks like you have to hold that.
Pardon?
Looks like you're gonna have to hold this.
Okay, I will hold
Can
it.
you hear?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
It's a little low, but I can hear.
There should be a volume.
Sorry about this.
Oh, Miss Lori is coming.
Okay, oh, that's much better.
Can you hear
Thank
now?
you. I definitely can now. Thank you.
Okay,
You're gonna be sworn in.
Okay, oh, do I need to stand?
no.
Okay.
If you could raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, just if you could make sure to be like within about 6 inches of that microphone, I'd appreciate that. I know it's kind of not the most comfortable. Okay,
How's that?
yes, perfect.
Your name is, ma'am?
Sandra Gordon,
And it's Gordon,
D-O-N.
Sandra, Sandra.
Correct.
Couple quick questions.
Sure.
This gentleman here is whom?
Pardon?
Who is this gentleman?
That's my husband.
Okay. How old are you, ma'am?
79.
Okay. Since your husband was issued a temporary protection order,
Just 1 second. Does anybody need water? Because Ms. Vera has brought more water bottles.
Thank you.
may I?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll-
Anybody else need water?
Thank you.
Good.
No? Okay, all right.
We've been in court and this case was
Thank you.
continued. Do you remember this case has been continued to today?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you seen Miss Escano when you leave your complex in your car?
Yes.
And what does Miss Escano do when you leave the complex?
The times that I've seen her, she's sitting on her front porch and she smiles and waves at us.
At both of you?
Yes.
Okay. During this time, have you seen her walk in front of your house?
Oh, yes, repeatedly.
And does she stop in front of your house?
I don't recall how many times, but I know of at least one time she stopped there.
And what does she do?
She was just looking at the front door,
And how long is she there?
very short period of time, and then walks on down to the far end of the complex.
Thank you. That's all the questions.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on.
Cross-examination.
How long have you lived in this complex?
Since 2018.
2018.
Mhm.
And when did the Escanos move in?
You know, I'm not really sure of the date, but it was after we moved in.
Okay. And does she routinely take walks in the neighborhood?
Oh, yes.
So she routinely takes laps in the neighborhood?
Mhm.
Okay. And what were the days or months that how many times have you seen her be on your porch and wave at you?
Be on her porch?
Yeah, be on her porch and
Yeah.
wave at you, sorry,
Okay, at least a couple of times.
a couple of times.
Mhm.
Did she used to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Are you all done? Okay, thank you. Thank you for your testimony. May this witness be excused. It sounds like there's no redirect.
There is not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your testimony, but you can hold on to that.
Oh, okay.
Because is she able to stay in the courtroom now,
I
or?
have no need for the sequestration. We have no further witnesses.
So you can stay in the courtroom if you'd like at this
Oh,
point.
okay,
So if
thank
you
you.
want to be able to hear, you might want to have
I'll
your.
get my hearing aid back.
Oh, does
It's
that
on-
work?
It's on the corner. of
Okay,
two
and that
desks.
works better.
That works. Well, actually, this is probably better. Thank you.
That's what people
I-
tell me when they have that device. Any rebuttal testimony?
Yes, Your Honor, if I just may briefly call my client again?
It's your
I
time.
think
No worries.
misunderstood. I think she waved or not,
No, she understood.
before and after.
You put that on?
I'm gonna put it, yes, thank you very much.
I'll just remind you that you're still under oath, Ms. Ascano,
Yes, ma'am.
and you may proceed, counsel.
There was, the testimony that we just heard was that you approached him on the first incident, July 21st. Did you approach him as you were taking your walk?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you say anything to him?
No, I was on the other side of the street with another neighbor walking.
Okay. On 6/19, what did he say?
He said, "There goes the bitch."
And his testimony is that he was telling someone else that, correct?
Correct.
But was it loud enough for everybody in the community to hear?
It would have been if I could hear it from that far away.
Okay. When your daughter was driving, his testimony was that he didn't get up in the car and didn't start yelling and cursing.
He did.
In terms of, he says he wasn't angry on that incident.
He was very angry
Okay. Do you know why?
because a car was driving down his private road.
And he told you that, correct?
Yes,
His words were,
we shouldn't be on it. It's a private road.
and did he say it nicely?
No.
Okay. And then you said hello, right?
Mhm.
And how long would you say that interaction at the car was?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Okay. The next day he says he went to explain himself. Do you want to give your version of those?
And that's when I was walking with my neighbor and he came walking across the street at a fast rate. And he started berating me about how rude my daughter was and how he knew where she got that from.
Okay. And then, in terms of his statement that you've had you were following him, and yet it was also very short interactions. Do you want to speak to that?
Wasn't following him. I was walking down the block. I walked to the end of the block and I turn around and come back.
Okay. Have you been waving at the Gordons?
If I have been waving at the Gordons, it's because I didn't recognize their car.
Okay. In terms of, any other statements that he made that you feel are just grossly inaccurate?
Judge, this is going to be a narrative. We need to ask direct questions. So we
Okay,
get to the
sure.
point of it. Thank you.
Direct questions, please.
He says he never said that, that he wished you were dead. Is that true or false?
He did say that.
And did he ever tell you, that you're too stupid to understand things?
Yes, I was too stupid to understand the rules.
So it seems like most of his hostility towards you is related to the TOA, correct?
Yes, but the things that we requested were not things that were out of line requesting an ADA compliant handrail for the driveway, requesting a non-carcinogenic for the,
Do you have cancer, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Are you currently undergoing radiation and chemo? Or no, radiation?
Yes, ma'am.
And so was it your doctor's recommendation to stay away from those sorts of
Yes,
substances?
yes, ma'am, and I had a letter from her to that effect.
Okay.
What substances?
Carcinogenic.
Oh, okay, got it.
So three things: the railing, the not to spray pesticides on your trees, to use natural things, and would you show me the size of your window? The
The
window?
stained glass.
Yeah, that's the dimensions, show me.
Yeah, about, what would that be, 2 by 1?
Okay, a 2x1 hanging that up.
Mhm.
And that is what has made him so mad.
To my knowledge, that would be it. I don't
Okay.
know how I got 50 pages of complaints out of that, but
Have you filed 50 pages of anything?
no.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
That's it.
Sorry, I mean cross-examination.
Thank you.
What?
question.
None? Okay. All right, thank you for your testimony. Any further rebuttal?
I would like to recall Ms. Autumn Moscano if she's still here. I'm not sure that, I think she is.
Okay. You could take a seat, ma'am. I'll just remind you, you are still under oath.
I want to be really clear. What do you recall as the first thing he said to you when he approached the car?
I recall a statement that I shouldn't be driving on the road because it was a private road.
And was he calm about this?
He wasn't happy, but he wasn't angry yet.
Okay, so tell me how that implies that he progressed to angry. Tell me about that progression.
He started by a very blunt, very direct statement that it's a private road and I shouldn't be driving on it. And I said, I'm taking my mom home. She leaned over, waved. I think she said hi. And I said something to the effect of, yes, I can drive on this road. And he got louder and said, repeated, it's a private road. And I said, something like, I don't know, I didn't care. I responded, and I'm taking my mom home. He started getting louder again, yelling, cussing, threatening to call law
When
enforcement.
you say cussing, what were the words he used?
This is a goddamn private road. How fucking stupid can you be? There's a sign. Something like that.
And then the next thing was he was threatening I interrupted you?
To call law enforcement.
Okay, and this is after he saw your mom?
Yes.
No
further questions.
Thank you. Any cross-examination?
You had also said some things fairly negative and disparaging also, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I assume, is there any more? Did you want to use any redirect?
When you used the foul language to F off, was that before or after he had cursed at you?
After.
No
Okay.
further questions.
Thank you. So is she able to stay in the courtroom now, or is she? Okay. All right. Do counsel wish to make closing arguments?
No, Your Honor, I think the court has carefully paid attention to the evidence and I'm willing to waive that.
Mr. Moran?
It just appears to just be a townhome association, and quite frankly, if we had two neighbors arguing over this time, we would have to build another courthouse. But the burden of proof is on the petitioner, and the petitioner has to show an act, punching, shoving, or some sort of assaultive act. As such, the government must effectively, and again, I'm paraphrasing, step in to stop the further abuse. They've never met either of those burdens. The only thing that has occurred that I can decipher from this entire arguing about Canadian thistles, arguing about a hand railing, arguing about a stained glass, is this allegation in paragraph 4A, I wish you were dead, which my client denied repeatedly under cross-examination and through my testimony. So there's really nothing in this that ever gets to prong one. But even if we get to prong one, I wish you were dead, that just sounds like a disparaging remark, if true, which doesn't appear that it is. It doesn't result in, I'm going to kick your ass, I'm throw you to the ground or something along those lines. Then the second part is does the government need to step in to stop the further acts? I find it remarkable that if my clients leave, Ms. Ascano waves at them, excuse me, or will, because my client is caused her all of these health issues and the doctor's notes, et cetera, that she would still walk in front of her house. It just seemed fairly unbelievable. But I think more importantly, they reference in the report a gentleman by the name of Mark Lafano. They had the power of subpoena, somebody that was there that could spread what occurred to you so you could decide if they prove this case more likely than not. That guy is not even here, nor is he providing any evidence, especially with the terms of berating, et cetera. I think that person would be essential, and it's not my burden of proof. It would be counsel's burden of proof. As such, every TOA meeting that becomes a little bit of how is this going, or I don't like how things are occurring, or as Ms. Ascano says, the annual meeting is in August and I'm concerned he will disparage me in front of my neighbors. That's not what this court's for, nor do we need the burden for a protective order. My client's 87 years old, in ill health. When he sees her, he goes the other way. So Judge, I hope that we can reserve these cases for true people that are victims, and that when they come here, they're in need of this. This is just a neighborhood dispute, and it doesn't arise to a need of a protection order. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Under 13-14-106, 1A, if upon the examination, the judge finds by a preponderance of the evidence that the respondent has committed acts constituting grounds for issuance of a civil protection order, and unless restrained, will continue to commit the acts or acts designed to intimidate or retaliate against the protected person, the judge or magistrate shall order the temporary civil protection order to be made permanent. The court has heard the testimony. As far as I know, I have 2 paper exhibits and one that have been admitted, and I'll just check with counsel, and 1 recording. Is that correct? I don't have that recording either in a flash drive, or is that?
Your Honor, it's been uploaded to the court file. So it's already in the court file, it was as of a week ago. So you just click on the link and it takes you to the recording.
Okay.
And then also we admitted exhibit 1.
Your motion?
Sorry, took judicial notice of exhibit.
I did, for what that was worth. Yes, I did. So exhibit 1, I took judicial notice of the actual complaint for civil protection order that was filed by the petitioner here. And then I heard the recording, and I exhibit 4, and that's fine. I don't know how to do what you just told me. And then I have exhibit A. I'm just going to mark this one as well. And I have heard and considered the testimony of the petitioner, the respondent, the petitioner's daughter, and the respondent's wife. I make my findings and rulings based on my assessment of the credibility of the parties. Because I have had the opportunity to observe them throughout these proceedings. So the petitioner seeks a protection order because on July 14th, looks like she says 12:40 p.m. She says that he, among other things, in her complaint, she says, he said, "Why the hell don't you do something good to help the community? Do you understand what that means? That means not bitching about everything." He continued to curse, verbally aggressive, pain in the ass, called her, wished I'd never moved to the neighborhood, wished I was dead. I assume that means wish that she was dead, even though it's in quotation marks, wish the petitioner was dead. She indicates that there was another neighbor, Mr. LaFaro, who was berated, quote unquote, berated and verbally attacked, end quote, by Mr. Gordon. And she is concerned he'll harass any neighbors that associate with her. She's concerned he'll disparage her in front of neighbors at the TOA meeting. Retaliate against her for property decisions, doesn't want him to have authority over her or her property. Every time he sees me in the neighborhood, he goes out of his way to verbally abuse me. And she said this is the most serious incident. So most of what that paragraph 4B is about is basically the same information. I do note that she said, as I mentioned before in that recording of the incident, or I guess the third pass, that she feels pretty good. Mr. Gordon testifies regarding that incident as well. He says that it was actually, he was weeding in Exhibit A at the end of the dead end street. It's indicated dead end street with red. He was weeding there, digging up thistles. And he testifies that the petitioner actually approached him saying, "What are you doing? You don't have to do this." He moved about to another location because I guess he originally was at the end of the street, then he moved towards 1350, about 40 yards, pushing a wheelbarrow. And again, he testified that petitioner was following him. Then he went to another lot. He denies saying anything like, "I wish you didn't move to the neighborhood." And he denies saying anything like, "I wish she was dead." Then he moved to another lot. He admits he saw Mark Lafano, I guess. And he said good morning. But he testifies that Ms. Ascano was harassing him over talking or abusing Mark Lovano, but it sounds like he wouldn't have understood that based on his testimony since he said hello. He continued, I guess, pushing the wheelbarrow with the thistles to his house. After going to the second lot, he parked on his driveway with the wheelbarrow of thistles. And again, he went in to get the bag for the thistles. Before he finished the bagging, Ms. Ascano again approaches him. He testified she threw her hands up in the air. "What are you doing now?" He explained that they're noxious weeds. He was frustrated at that point and said something like, "Why don't you do something for this community? You must be a miserable individual." The incidents, each one was brief. There were 3 brief incidents on that day. So then we have, and I have to say, I find Mr. Gordon's testimony regarding those incidents more credible than Ms. Ascano's. That's based on my observation of the parties and their demeanors. I understand there was yelling. And there is an exhibit where he did yell, but I do find I don't think he denies that, but I don't find that he said, "I wish you were dead." I find it credible that he did not say that to Ms. Ascano. Then we have an incident a whole year before, where Ms. Autumn Ascano is driving her mother home, stops at the end, apparently again at the end of the townhouse association to turn around, and turns and comes back up, and there was testimony from Ms. Ascano that Mr. Gordon confronted her, that he leaned into the car. She's not used to having people yell at her. She's testified. Ms. Ascano's testimony was that his first statement was that this was a private road and they were not allowed to drive on it. And he leaned into the car. She took her foot off the brake and rolled forward with him leaning in the car. There was, from her testimony, he was yelling. She was yelling. She testified twice, so I want to look at her second testimony. Ms. Autumn Ascano says that her mother just leaned over and waved. And then Ms. Autumn said, "I can drive on this road." Apparently he got louder. She didn't care about what he was saying. And then it escalated where he was yelling. And there was additional facts that apparently weren't brought out the first time when she was describing what had happened, but she said that it was stupid. How fucking stupid can you be? There's a sign. And both of them used foul language with each other. Mr. Gordon testified that it's something I find very credible. Well, I'll just back up. He said his normal script is, "May I help you?" His testimony was that Ms. Sharon Ascano exploded at him. "You should have known it was my daughter," screaming from inside the car. So things escalated very quickly. Interestingly enough, when there was the following day, when Ms. Sharon Ascano is saying that Mr. Gordon is barreling, in her words, barreling towards her from his house, which I have to say, given his age and what I've observed today, I would say that was an exaggeration. But that she actually said to him, "You stuck your ugly head in the car." That seemed very credible to me. That Ms. Ascano said that to Mr. Gordon. I do find his description of what happened more credible than Ms. Ascano's description of what happened, or either Ms. Ascano. I also find it credible to believe that Ms. Ascano is waving at the Gordons from the porch of her home. She's walking in front of their house. A person that would be coming in to request a protection order would seem to avoid any contact, would be fearful, basically, of having any contact whatsoever with the other party. And it appears that three things. One, she says on that tape recording, I feel pretty good. And she is waving from her porch, walking in front of their house, stopping at least once in front of the house. That certainly is not the behavior of a person who's suffering such emotional distress at her age, because obviously anyone over the age of 60 is considered elderly under the protection order statute. That is not the behavior of someone who was suffering emotional distress from contact with Mr. Gordon. So I would not find that Ms. Ascano has met her burden to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that she's entitled to a permanent protection order. I think I do find well, even if I were to find that there was one incident that was recorded where there was yelling, even if I were to find that that was sufficient to constitute grounds for a civil protection order. Again, we're talking about 2 incidents a year apart. There was one additional, apparently at the mailbox where she overhears something and and takes offense. But other than that, that's what I have here. But let's just assume for purposes of argument that that was sufficient to constitute grounds for issuance of a permanent protection order. I cannot find that that these acts will continue in the future. I agree. They live in the same neighborhood. But it took a year apparently for them to have any contact. There's been no contact apparently since then, except that which has been initiated by Ms. Ascano, waving from her porch and walking in front of their house. So I would not, even if I were to give the petitioner the first prong of the permanent civil protection order requirements, I could not find that it will continue in the future. So I deny this request for a permanent protection order. Any party dissatisfied with the court's ruling has 14 days to file a notice of appeal. Any questions about my ruling from the petitioner?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions about my ruling from respondent?
No, if one of us could leave early, give us 30 seconds so we could leave. How about I give the benefit to the other party if they could leave? We'll sit in here for a few moments. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I just want to thank the judge.
Nope.
Court is going to be off the record and also off live stream.